Future of work. Are you sure your job is stable? That tomorrow will be just like today? What if I told you this is one of the most dangerous illusions millions of people believe in? The illusion of job stability is a quiet trap. It doesn't scare you. It does the opposite. It calms you down. It gives you a sense of control, safety, predictability. You wake up in the morning, go to work, get paid, and it feels like this will last forever. But the truth is, stability isn't real. It's a feeling. When you work a regular job, it seems like everything is under control. There's a contract, a position, a steady income. But let's ask a simple question. Who actually controls that stability? Not you. The company can shut down. Management can change. The market can crash. Technology can make your profession obsolete. And all of this can happen faster than you can adapt. But the brain loves comfort. It clings to what's familiar. That's why we ignore the warning signs. We tell ourselves, this won't happen to me. I'm a good employee. They value me. Everything is stable for me. And at that moment, we stop growing. The biggest problem with the illusion of stability is that it slows your growth. When everything seems fine, you don't look for new opportunities. You don't learn. You don't experiment. You don't take risks. You start living on autopilot. A year passes, 5 years pass, 10 years pass, and one day you wake up and realize you've been standing still. But the world hasn't. Stability is not when nothing changes. Real stability is the ability to adapt to change, but no one really teaches you that. Not in school, and rarely at work. We're taught to be convenient. Complete tasks, don't ask too many questions, stay within the lines. But the world works differently now. It's not the most loyal who survive. Not even the smartest. It's the ones who can adapt. Let's be honest. A job is an exchange of time for money. You sell hours of your life. And there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is when you start seeing it as the only path. You stop noticing alternatives, and they exist. Freelancing, your own project investments, remote work for a global market, building a personal brand. But to see these opportunities, you first have to admit, your current stability is not permanent. Sometimes people hold on to a job not because they love it, but because it gives them a sense of security. But security is not the absence of risk. It's readiness for risk. If you lost your job tomorrow, what would you do? If you don't have an answer, then you don't have stability, you have dependency. The illusion of stability becomes especially dangerous during crises. When everything is fine, it's invisible. When everything falls apart, it's too late to change. Think about any economic crisis. How many people suddenly lost their jobs? How many companies shut down? How many professions disappeared? And every time people were sure, this won't affect me. But here's the good news. You can break out of this illusion. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow. You don't have to drop everything. You just need to start thinking differently. Ask yourself a few questions. What skills do I have that I can monetize outside my job? What would I do if I lost my current income? Do I have a backup plan? Am I growing or just repeating routines? These questions may be uncomfortable, but they are honest. Real stability looks like this. Multiple sources of income, skills that are in demand, flexible thinking, willingness to learn. It doesn't guarantee you won't face difficulties. But it gives you control, and control is real. Security. The world is changing faster than ever. Automation, artificial intelligence, globalization, what feels reliable today may disappear tomorrow. And the question isn't whether it will happen. The question is, are you ready? The most interesting part is that many people feel something is off. They get tired. They lose motivation. They feel anxious. But instead of figuring it out, they try to push through. They wait for vacation. They wait for the weekend. They wait for a promotion. But the problem isn't fatigue. The problem is that deep down, you understand, you depend on a system you don't control. When you realize this, it's scary at first, because the illusion disappears. But then comes freedom. Because you understand, there is another way. Important. This is not about saying jobs are bad. This is about blind belief in stability being risky. You can have a job and still build your independence. These things are not mutually exclusive. Start small. Set aside an hour a day for Growth, learn a new skill. Try to earn your first money outside your main job. Create something of your own, gradually without drastic moves but with a clear direction. And remember, the biggest risk is thinking there is no risk. If you've watched this far, it means this topic resonates with you. Write in the comments. Do you feel this illusion of stability? Or have you already started breaking out of it? And make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. It helps promote this kind of honest, useful content and motivates me to create more. And finally, stability is not a place where you stand still. It's your ability to move when everything around you changes. Don't wait for life to force you to change. Start earlier, because then you'll have a choice.